Maya was a single mother who had faced many challenges in her life. She lived in a small, cold city with her young son Leo. Every day was a struggle, and winter made life even harder. The wind blew sharply through the streets, and snow often covered the sidewalks, making it difficult to carry groceries or walk to work. Maya had no home of her own. Most nights, she stayed in shelters where the rooms were crowded and warm enough only in small corners. Sometimes she stayed with friends who had space for her and Leo, but she did not want to trouble anyone for too long. Her son Leo was 6 years old, full of curiosity and smiles. He loved Christmas and believed in magic, but this year, Maya worried she could not give him even a small present. They had barely enough money for food and warm clothes. Maya worked in a small cafe. The work was long, the hours were tiring, and the pay was just enough to survive. Each day she served coffee and sandwiches with a smile, hiding her own exhaustion. Maya remembered her own childhood. She had grown up with her grandmother in a small town far away. Her mother had passed when Maya was a baby, and her grandmother had raised her with love and care. But over the years, Maya had lost contact with her grandmother. Life had pulled her into the city, and she had not visited for many years. She often wondered about her grandmother and thought about the stories she had told when Maya was little. One cold morning, Maya woke up in the shelter with Leo sleeping beside her. The room smelled of warm blankets and old wood. Maya checked her small bag. She had saved some coins from yesterday's work and a small loaf of bread. Leo woke up and smiled at her, showing his small teeth. His smile made her heart warm, even in the cold room. "Mom, can we have hot chocolate today?" Leo asked, rubbing his eyes. Maya hugged him gently. "We will see, my little snowflake," she said. She knew they could not afford it, but she wanted him to feel happy. After getting ready, Maya went to the cafe for work. The streets were busy. People walked quickly with shopping bags in their hands. Shops were decorated with lights and colorful ornaments. Children ran around holding balloons and candies. Maya felt invisible as she walked among the crowd. She felt the cold wind on her face and wished for a miracle. At the cafe, Maya poured coffee and served sandwiches. She smiled at customers and tried to hide her tired eyes. Leo was always on her mind, and she hoped to find a way to give him a Christmas he would remember. Her boss noticed her fatigue and offered her extra shifts. Maya accepted because she needed the money, even though it left her exhausted. Later that morning, Maya returned to the shelter. She sorted through the mail that had arrived while she was at work. Most of it was bills or advertisements, nothing important. But then she found a letter with unfamiliar handwriting. It looked official. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was a letter from a law firm. Maya read the words carefully, not believing what she saw. The letter said that her grandmother, who had recently passed away, had left her a property in the mountains. It was called the Santa Lodge. The lodge was small but cozy, and it had been in the family for many years. The letter explained that Maya was now the owner and could claim it any time. There were instructions on how to travel to the lodge and whom to contact. Maya could hardly breathe. She read the letter again to make sure it was real. A lodge in the mountains, a place with snow and warmth, a home that belonged to her. She thought about the long winters she and Leo had faced, the nights in shelters, and the struggles of the city. This could be the chance to change everything. Maya sat down on the edge of her bed and held the letter close. She imagined herself and Leo walking through the snow, entering a warm room with a fireplace, and feeling safe for the first time in years. Her heart felt heavy with hope and excitement. She thought about how she could make this lodge a real home, a place for her and Leo to build new memories. Leo watched her quietly. "Mom, what is it?" he asked. Maya smiled and hugged him. "It is a surprise, Leo. Something very special. Soon, we will have a home of our own," she said. She could not tell him everything yet because she wanted it to be magical, like the stories she had heard from her grandmother. That night, Maya could hardly sleep. She thought about the lodge, the mountains, and the snow. She wondered what it would look like and whether it would feel warm and welcoming. She thought about the work she needed to do to make it livable and about the new life she could start there. The thought of having a place to call her own, a place where Leo could play and be safe, made her heart beat faster. The next morning, Maya decided she would go to the mountains. She knew the journey would be long and difficult, but she also knew it was the opportunity she had been waiting for. She packed a small bag with warm clothes, food for the journey, and a few personal items. She took the letter with her, carefully folded, and read it again. As she prepared to leave, Maya felt a mix of fear and hope. She had faced many challenges before, but this was different. This was a chance to start over, to give Leo the home and happiness he deserved. She looked at her son and saw his trust in her eyes. She knew she could not let him down. Maya left the shelter with Leo by her side. The city streets were quiet in the early morning, and snowflakes fell gently from the sky. She held Leo's hand tightly as they walked toward the bus station. The bus would take them to the mountains, to the lodge that had been waiting for her for years. As they traveled, Maya thought about her grandmother. She remembered the stories of the lodge, the fun times in the snow, and the warmth of the fireplace. She imagined opening the door for the first time, feeling the cold air mix with the scent of wood and pine. She imagined Leo running around, exploring the rooms, and laughing with joy. For the first time in a long time, Maya felt real hope. She realized that even in the hardest times, life could surprise you. She realized that dreams could come true when you least expect them. She realized that Christmas this year might be different, filled with love, warmth, and magic. Maya held Leo's hand tightly and looked out the window at the snow-covered mountains in the distance. She whispered softly, "We are going to find our home, Leo. A place just for us. And maybe, just maybe, this Christmas will be the best one ever." With that thought in her heart, Maya felt a sense of courage she had never felt before. She knew the journey would not be easy, but she also knew that she and Leo could face anything together. The lodge was waiting for them, and so was a new beginning. The bus rattled along the snowy roads, carrying Maya and Leo toward the mountains. Outside, the world was a winter wonderland. Snow covered every tree, every rooftop, and every path. The sky was pale, and the sun shone weakly through the clouds, reflecting off the snow like tiny crystals. Maya pressed her hand against the window, feeling both nervous and excited. Leo sat beside her, his eyes wide with wonder, pointing at every snow-covered tree and hill. "Mom, look. That tree looks like it is wearing snowshoes," Leo exclaimed, giggling. Maya laughed softly. "Yes, Leo, it does. And soon, we will see something even more amazing," she said. She wanted to keep the surprise alive until they reached the lodge. The bus wound its way higher into the mountains. The roads became narrower and steeper, and the air grew colder. Maya tightened her scarf around her neck and pulled Leo's coat close. They were prepared for the snow, but the wind made the journey feel longer and more challenging. Despite the cold, Maya felt warmth in her heart. She imagined the lodge waiting for them, a safe place, a place where she could finally give Leo a proper home. After several hours, the bus stopped at a small station near a forest path. A driver from the law firm waited for them. He introduced himself as Mr. Harris and said he would take them to the lodge in his van. Maya and Leo climbed in, and the van started along a narrow road surrounded by thick snow. The trees leaned under the weight of the snow, creating a magical archway above the road. Maya felt like they were entering another world, a world filled with mystery and possibilities. As they traveled, Mr. Harris told Maya about the lodge. "It has been in your family for generations. Your grandmother loved this place. It was her secret retreat, a place to enjoy peace, snow, and the Christmas season. She wanted someone who cared about the family to have it, and she left it for you," he said. Maya listened carefully. She felt a mixture of emotions: gratitude, curiosity, and a little fear. The lodge had been abandoned for some time, and she wondered what condition it would be in. Would it be safe? Would it be warm enough for Leo? These questions made her nervous, but she reminded herself that this was their chance. Finally, they reached a clearing. The lodge stood in front of them, surrounded by snow and tall pine trees. Its wooden walls were covered with frost, and the roof was heavy with snow. Smoke rose from the chimney, even though the lodge seemed empty. Maya felt a shiver, not from the cold, but from the excitement and mystery of seeing the lodge for the first time. "It is beautiful," Leo whispered, his breath forming small clouds in the cold air. He ran toward the lodge, kicking snow as he went. Maya followed him, carrying their bags. The doors of the lodge were large and wooden, with old carvings of snowflakes and Christmas decorations. Maya felt as if she was stepping into a storybook. Inside, the lodge was cold and quiet. The windows were frosted, and the furniture was covered in a thin layer of dust. Maya could see that the lodge had been unused for some time, but it had a charm she could feel immediately. A large fireplace dominated the main room, and it looked like it could warm the whole lodge once lit. There were chairs and tables, and shelves lined with books and old decorations. Maya set down the bags and looked around. "Leo, we have a home now," she said, her voice soft but full of hope. Leo ran from room to room, exploring every corner. He opened cupboards and peeked under tables, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. As they explored, Maya noticed a small door in the corner of the main room. It was almost hidden behind a thick curtain. She felt a strange pull toward it, as if it was calling her. She pushed the curtain aside and opened the door. Behind it was a narrow staircase leading down. The steps were covered in a thin layer of snow that had drifted in from a small crack in the wall. Maya hesitated. "I wonder where this goes," she said quietly. Leo looked at her with wide eyes. "Mom, let's see," he said eagerly. Maya smiled and took his hand. Together, they went down the stairs. At the bottom, they found a small room. It was not large, but it was warm compared to the main lodge. There were shelves filled with jars, old toys, and boxes labeled with dates from many years ago. Maya opened one of the boxes and found letters and photographs. She realized these were memories of her grandmother, carefully preserved. Each photograph showed her grandmother smiling in the lodge, decorating the Christmas tree, or sitting by the fireplace. Maya felt tears in her eyes. Her grandmother had left this place as a treasure, not just a building, but a memory. Leo picked up a small wooden toy from one of the shelves. "Mom, look. This is for me," he said, his face glowing with excitement. Maya hugged him tightly. "Yes, Leo. It is for you, and for us," she said. They spent the rest of the day exploring the lodge. Maya found rooms with old furniture that could be repaired, a kitchen with pots and pans, and even a small attic filled with blankets and decorations. Each discovery made her heart fill with hope. She realized that this lodge was not just a home, it was a gift, a chance to start over, to make new memories, and to feel safe. As the sun began to set, the lodge looked magical. The snow outside reflected the last light, turning the windows into golden rectangles. Maya lit the fireplace for the first time. The flames danced and warmed the room, filling it with a soft, comforting glow. Leo sat close to her, feeling the warmth on his cheeks. Maya felt a sense of peace she had not felt in years. That night, as they lay in the lodge, Maya thought about what tomorrow would bring. There were repairs to make, decorations to find, and perhaps more secrets hidden inside the lodge. She felt a sense of adventure, as if the lodge had many stories waiting to be discovered. She knew that this Christmas could be different from any she had ever experienced. Maya whispered to Leo, "We are safe now, and this lodge will be our home. And maybe, just maybe, we will find the magic that Grandma wanted us to have." Leo smiled in his sleep, dreaming of the snow, the lodge, and the wonderful adventures that awaited them. Maya looked around the room one last time before closing her eyes. The lodge was quiet, but it seemed alive with history and secrets. She knew that this was only the beginning of something extraordinary. Tomorrow, she would start exploring every corner, uncovering every mystery, and building a home filled with love and warmth. For the first time in a long time, Maya felt real hope. She realized that even after hardships and loneliness, life could surprise you with gifts you never expected. And as she drifted to sleep, she imagined the lodge full of laughter, warmth, and Christmas magic. She knew that this journey had just begun, and the best was yet to come. The next morning, Maya woke to the sound of wind whistling through the pine trees. The snow outside sparkled in the weak morning light. Leo was already awake, pressing his face against the frosted window and pointing at the snow-covered hills. "Mom, look at the snow. It looks like a big white blanket," he exclaimed. Maya smiled and wrapped her arms around him. "Yes, Leo. And today, we will explore more of our lodge. I have a feeling there are many surprises waiting for us." Leo's eyes widened with excitement. He loved surprises, and he was curious about every room and corner of the lodge. After breakfast, Maya decided to start with the attic. It was a small room at the top of the lodge, filled with old boxes and covered in dust. She carried a flashlight and a broom to clean the area. Leo helped, brushing snow from the windows and moving small items. As they cleaned, Maya noticed a small trapdoor hidden under a pile of blankets. She pulled it aside and discovered a narrow ladder leading down. "Mom, what is this?" Leo asked, his voice a mix of fear and excitement. "I don't know yet, Leo. But we are going to find out together," Maya replied. She carefully climbed down the ladder with Leo holding her hand. The ladder led them to a small hidden room beneath the lodge. It was warm, as if the lodge itself wanted them to find this place. Inside, Maya and Leo discovered shelves filled with jars of herbs, dried flowers, and strange powders. There were notebooks with handwritten notes, old maps, and drawings of stars and mountains. It seemed like her grandmother had kept this room as a secret laboratory or study. Maya carefully opened one of the notebooks. The pages were filled with recipes, remedies, and notes about the seasons. Some pages even mentioned ways to make the lodge warm and cozy during winter. Leo picked up a small wooden box and opened it. Inside were tiny carved animals, painted in bright colors. "Mom, look at these. They are so cute," he said, showing her a small wooden deer. Maya smiled and felt a connection to her grandmother. It was as if her grandmother had prepared this place not only as a home but also as a place full of love, magic, and care. Maya spent the morning reading through the notebooks. She discovered tips for keeping the fireplace burning longer, ways to store food during winter, and even little games and decorations her grandmother had made for Christmas. Each discovery made her feel closer to the grandmother she had barely known but still loved. After exploring the hidden room, Maya returned to the main lodge with Leo. They decided to check the kitchen and storage rooms. The kitchen was old but functional. There were pots, pans, and utensils that could be cleaned and used. Maya found a box of old Christmas decorations and ornaments. She imagined how she could decorate the lodge for Leo's first Christmas here. In the storage room, Maya found a small locked chest. It was heavy and had a rusted keyhole. She searched the hidden room for a key, and after a few minutes, she found a small brass key taped to the bottom of one of the shelves. Her hands trembled as she unlocked the chest. Inside were small gifts, handwritten letters, and a red velvet pouch. Maya opened the pouch and found shiny gold coins. They were not real money but tokens, each with a symbol of a star, a snowflake, or a reindeer. She realized her grandmother had created a way to teach generosity, kindness, and joy. The letters in the chest were addressed to her, written many years ago. They spoke of love, courage, and the magic of giving. Maya felt tears in her eyes. Her grandmother had left not only a lodge but a treasure of wisdom, love, and care. She knew that this place was special, not just because of the building but because of the heart her grandmother had put into it. Leo noticed a small door in the corner of the storage room. It was different from the one in the main room. Maya opened it and found a short hallway leading to a small workshop. Inside were tools, paints, and wood pieces. It was clear that her grandmother had enjoyed creating things. There were half-finished toys, decorations, and even small wooden furniture for children. Leo ran around the workshop, touching the wooden animals and tiny chairs. "Mom, we can play here. We can make our own toys," he said with joy. Maya smiled and realized that this lodge was more than a home. It was a place of learning, creativity, and imagination. She thought about how she could teach Leo to make toys, bake treats, and explore the snowy mountains safely. She felt grateful for this unexpected gift. By midday, Maya decided to explore outside. The snow was deep, and the wind was cold, but the mountains were beautiful. They followed a small path behind the lodge and discovered a frozen pond. Leo ran ahead and tried to make snow angels. Maya laughed as she watched him, remembering the childhood she had lost. She realized that now she could give Leo experiences she had only dreamed of. While exploring, Maya noticed a small shed hidden behind the trees. It was partially covered in snow. She brushed the snow away and opened the door. Inside, she found old sleds, skis, and even a pair of snowshoes. Her grandmother had prepared the lodge for winter adventures. Maya could feel her grandmother's care and planning. She realized that the lodge was a place where magic could happen if they respected it and learned its secrets. That evening, Maya and Leo returned to the lodge. Maya prepared a small dinner using the ingredients she found in the kitchen. As they ate, she told Leo stories about his grandmother, the lodge, and the magical winter adventures they could have. Leo listened with wide eyes, imagining himself sliding down snowy hills, building snowmen, and decorating the lodge for Christmas. After dinner, Maya lit the fireplace again. The warm glow filled the room, casting shadows on the walls and giving the lodge a cozy feeling. She noticed how the lodge seemed alive, almost like it welcomed them. Leo curled up next to her, holding one of the wooden animals from the hidden room. Maya whispered softly, "We are going to be okay, Leo. This lodge has many secrets, and we will discover them together. Your grandmother wanted us to have this place, and now it is ours. We will make it warm, happy, and full of love." Leo smiled sleepily and yawned. "I like it here, Mom. I think Grandma wanted us to find it." Maya kissed his forehead and realized that this lodge was not only a home but a bridge to her past and a key to their future. She knew that challenges would come, like fixing the lodge and surviving the winter, but she felt ready. She had hope, courage, and Leo's laughter to guide her. As she looked around the lodge one last time that night, Maya felt a sense of wonder. The hidden rooms, the old notebooks, and the carefully stored toys were reminders that love could be passed down in many forms. She realized that the true treasure of the lodge was not the building itself but the care, thought, and magic her grandmother had left behind. Maya closed her eyes and whispered, "Tomorrow, we will explore more, and we will make this lodge our home. We will honor Grandma, and we will find the happiness we have been waiting for." Leo, snuggled in her arms, smiled and drifted into a peaceful sleep, dreaming of the adventures and secrets still waiting to be discovered in the Santa Lodge. The next morning, Maya woke to a soft white world. Snow had fallen heavily during the night, covering the trees, the roof, and the path leading to the lodge. The mountains were quiet and still, as if waiting for them to begin their day. Maya brewed a small pot of tea while Leo pressed his nose against the frosted window, watching the snow swirl in the cold morning air. "Mom, the lodge looks like it is sleeping under a blanket," Leo said with a smile. Maya laughed softly. "Yes, Leo. And today, we will wake it up. We will make it warm and cozy so we can enjoy our first winter here." After breakfast, Maya put on her boots, scarf, and gloves. Leo followed, excited to explore. Their first task was to clear the snow from the paths around the lodge. Maya found a shovel in the shed, and Leo used a small brush to sweep away the snow from the steps. The work was tiring, but Maya felt strong. She realized that this lodge, even though old and cold, was giving her purpose and energy. As they worked, Maya noticed that the lodge's windows were drafty. She decided to check each window and door to make sure no cold wind could enter. She found old cloth and strips of fabric in the hidden room and used them to seal gaps. Leo helped, holding pieces of fabric and handing them to her. Together, they made the main room warm and safe from the icy wind. Inside the lodge, Maya turned her attention to the fireplace. She remembered the notebooks she had found in the secret room. Her grandmother had written detailed instructions on how to make the fire last longer and warm the entire lodge. Maya gathered wood from the shed and carefully stacked it in the fireplace. She lit the fire, and slowly, warmth spread through the room. The wooden walls glowed with the soft orange light, and the lodge felt alive. Leo clapped his hands. It is warm, Mom. It is like magic. Maya smiled and hugged him. Yes, Leo. Grandma knew how to make this place magical. We just have to follow her instructions. After the fireplace, Maya decided to organize the kitchen. She found cans, jars, and dry food that had been carefully stored. Some of the items were old but still usable. She cleaned the shelves, wiped the dust from the counters, and made a list of what they would need from the nearby town. Leo helped by putting utensils in the drawers and arranging bowls. They laughed together as they worked, feeling proud of their progress. By midday, Maya noticed the cold outside had not lessened. The snow continued to fall, and the wind howled through the trees. She realized that they needed more supplies to survive the winter. She packed a small bag with warm clothes, some food, and blankets. Then she and Leo started walking toward the town. The path was covered in deep snow, and the wind made the journey slow, but Maya was determined. On the way, they discovered a small wooden bridge over a frozen stream. Leo ran ahead and jumped on the ice, testing its strength. Maya called him back. Careful, Leo. The ice may not hold. Stay close to me. Leo nodded and held her hand. Maya felt proud of how brave he was, but she also knew she had to protect him. In town, Maya visited a small market. She bought fresh vegetables, fruits, and supplies for cooking. She also found decorations for the lodge, thinking of the first Christmas they would spend here. Leo helped carry the bags, excited to see the gifts they had chosen. The shopkeeper smiled at Maya and asked about the lodge. She told him the story of inheriting it from her grandmother, and he nodded. You are lucky to have found such a special place. Take care of it, he said. Returning to the lodge was difficult because the snow had deepened. Maya held Leo's hand tightly as they walked along the path. When they arrived, the lodge looked even more magical under the thick white snow. Maya carried the supplies inside, feeling proud of what they had accomplished. The fire was already burning, and the warmth welcomed them. After dinner, Maya and Leo began decorating the lodge. They hung ornaments from the shelves, placed small candles in the windows, and set up a small Christmas tree that Leo had found in the hidden room. Maya used the notebooks to make small decorations from paper and wood. Leo painted tiny stars and snowflakes, carefully placing them on the tree. The lodge began to look festive, and Maya felt the first real happiness in months. As they worked, Maya noticed a small box hidden behind a shelf in the main room. She opened it and found letters addressed to her and Leo. They were written by her grandmother many years ago. The letters spoke of love, courage, and the importance of family. One letter read, "May this lodge always bring warmth and joy. Let it be a place of learning, laughter, and love. Protect it well, and it will protect you." Maya felt tears in her eyes. Her grandmother had left more than a lodge. She had left wisdom, guidance, and a gift of hope. Leo looked up at her. Mom, it feels like Grandma is here with us. Yes, Leo. She is, Maya said softly. She realized that the lodge was more than a home. It was a reminder that love could be passed down through generations. It was a place where they could create memories, learn new things, and enjoy life even in the coldest winters. That night, as they sat by the fire, Maya read more letters to Leo. They spoke of games to play in the snow, ways to help neighbors, and simple joys that could make life beautiful. Leo listened carefully, imagining himself following his grandmother's advice. The lodge felt warm, not only because of the fire but because of the love and memories it contained. Maya knew that there were more secrets in the lodge. She planned to explore the hidden rooms and workshops in the coming days. She wanted to understand every corner, every note, and every gift her grandmother had left. She also wanted to teach Leo how to care for the lodge, how to enjoy the snow safely, and how to find happiness even in small things. Before going to sleep, Maya looked out the window. The snow fell silently, covering the mountains in a soft white blanket. The lodge stood strong and warm, a safe place in the middle of the frozen wilderness. Maya whispered softly, "We will be okay, Leo. This lodge has given us hope, and we will make it our home. We will follow Grandma's guidance and make this winter unforgettable." Leo yawned and snuggled closer to her. "I like it here, Mom. I think this will be the best Christmas ever." Maya smiled and felt a deep sense of peace. She realized that even after years of struggle, life could bring unexpected gifts. The lodge was not only a home but a symbol of love, courage, and new beginnings. She knew that challenges would come, but with hope and determination, they could face anything together. As she drifted to sleep, Maya imagined the lodge filled with laughter, warmth, and Christmas magic. She knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures, new discoveries, and perhaps more secrets her grandmother had left for them to find. For the first time in a long time, Maya felt that everything was possible. The morning of Christmas arrived quietly in the Santa Lodge. Snowflakes floated gently from the sky, covering the mountains, trees, and the roof of the lodge with a thick, soft layer of white. Inside, Maya and Leo woke early, excited and full of energy. The lodge was warm from the fire that burned all night, and the smell of pine and wood filled the air. Leo jumped out of bed and ran to the small Christmas tree they had decorated the night before. He touched the ornaments carefully, smiling at the wooden animals, painted stars, and tiny snowflakes. "Mom, it looks perfect," he exclaimed, his voice full of wonder. Maya followed, carrying a small tray with tea and bread. She watched Leo's joyful expression and felt a warmth in her heart that had been missing for many years. This lodge, this Christmas, and this moment made her feel that all the hardships of the past were slowly melting away. After breakfast, Maya decided it was time to explore the lodge further and make it fully ready for the special day. She had already discovered hidden rooms, letters, and decorations, but there were still corners she had not seen. She thought of her grandmother and smiled. It was as if her grandmother had planned this Christmas for her and Leo, leaving behind magic and surprises to discover. Maya and Leo started with the workshop under the lodge. Leo loved the wooden toys and small furniture. He painted and decorated them while Maya arranged the workshop, organizing tools and supplies. They found more letters from her grandmother, giving instructions for small Christmas traditions, games, and winter activities. "Mom, Grandma knew we would come here," Leo said, holding a painted wooden deer. "She wanted us to play and have fun." "Yes, Leo," Maya replied softly. "She wanted this lodge to be full of laughter, love, and happiness. We will make sure it is." By mid-morning, the snow outside had grown deeper, and the wind had created soft drifts against the lodge. Maya decided to take Leo outside for a little adventure. She bundled him up in layers of clothing and wrapped a scarf around his neck. They carried small sleds from the shed and walked toward a hill behind the lodge. Leo ran ahead, sliding down the small slopes with joy. Maya followed, helping him climb and guiding him to safer areas. The snow sparkled like tiny diamonds, and the mountains around them seemed alive with beauty and magic. Maya realized that this place, her grandmother's lodge, was more than a home. It was a world of wonder, a place to explore, learn, and grow. After sledding, they returned to the lodge, cold and tired but happy. Maya started preparing a small Christmas meal using the ingredients she had bought and the supplies in the kitchen. She baked bread, cooked vegetables, and warmed some soup. Leo helped by setting the table and arranging the small wooden toys they had discovered as decorations. As they ate, Maya shared stories from her grandmother's letters. She read about the traditions her grandmother had enjoyed, the winter games she had invented, and the small surprises she had left for future generations. Leo listened with wide eyes, imagining himself following the same traditions. After the meal, Maya and Leo returned to decorating the lodge. They hung more ornaments from the shelves, placed small candles in the windows, and set up a tiny nativity scene that Maya had found in the hidden room. The lodge glowed with warmth, love, and festive spirit. As evening approached, Maya lit the fireplace again. The flames danced and filled the room with light and heat. Leo sat near the fire, holding one of the wooden animals from the hidden room. Maya watched him and thought about all they had accomplished. From being homeless and struggling in the city, they had found this lodge, restored it, and discovered its hidden treasures. They had hope, warmth, and a magical place to call home. Suddenly, Leo noticed a faint glow coming from one of the shelves in the hidden room. Maya followed him and found a small wooden box, slightly covered by a blanket. When she opened it, they discovered tiny golden stars, each carved carefully and polished. There was also a note from her grandmother. The note read, "These stars are a gift for those who bring love and joy to the lodge. Place them around the rooms, and may they bring light, hope, and happiness to your hearts. Remember, true magic comes from kindness, courage, and love." Maya smiled and carefully placed the golden stars throughout the lodge. Leo helped, putting stars on shelves, the Christmas tree, and near the fireplace. Each star seemed to glow softly, reflecting the firelight and filling the lodge with a gentle warmth. Maya realized that her grandmother had left a way to make the lodge magical, a gift to guide them through difficult times and remind them that love was the most important treasure of all. That night, Maya tucked Leo into bed. He held one of the golden stars close to his chest and whispered, "Mom, I think Grandma is smiling at us." "Yes, Leo," Maya whispered back. "She is very proud of us. And we will take care of the lodge, just like she wanted." Maya sat by the fireplace for a while, reflecting on their journey. She had faced many hardships, nights without a home, and moments of doubt. But now, in the warmth of the lodge, with Leo asleep and the fire glowing, she felt hope, strength, and joy. The lodge was more than a house. It was a home filled with love, memories, and magic. The snow continued to fall gently outside, covering the mountains and trees. The lodge stood strong and bright, a safe place for Maya and Leo. Maya realized that life could bring unexpected gifts, even after the hardest times. She had inherited more than a building. She had inherited a legacy of love, courage, and care. Before going to bed, Maya placed a small golden star on the windowsill, letting it catch the moonlight. She whispered softly, "Thank you, Grandma. We will take care of this lodge and fill it with love, laughter, and happiness. This is our home, and we will cherish it forever." As Maya drifted to sleep, she felt a deep sense of peace. For the first time in many years, she felt safe, hopeful, and loved. The lodge, the letters, the hidden rooms, and the golden stars had created a magical Christmas, a Christmas full of joy, warmth, and family. In the morning, Maya woke to find the sun shining on the snowy landscape. The lodge sparkled, and the mountains glowed in soft golden light. Leo ran to the windows, excited to see the beauty of the world outside. Maya joined him, holding his hand, and together they looked out at the snow-covered world. This Christmas was unlike any they had ever experienced. It was filled with magic, love, and hope. Maya knew that challenges would come, but she also knew that as long as they had each other and the lodge, they could face anything. The Santa Lodge had become their home, their sanctuary, and the beginning of a new life. Maya hugged Leo tightly and whispered, "Merry Christmas, Leo. This is only the beginning of our adventure, and I promise we will make every moment special." Leo smiled and hugged her back. "Merry Christmas, Mom. I love our home." Maya smiled, feeling the warmth of the fire, the love in her heart, and the magic of her grandmother's gift. The lodge was alive with laughter, hope, and joy. It had turned their winter into a season of magic, their struggles into strength, and their loneliness into love. And so, in the snowy mountains, Maya and Leo celebrated their first Christmas at the Santa Lodge, surrounded by warmth, hidden treasures, and the enduring magic of family. Their journey had been hard, but it had led them to this moment of happiness and hope, a moment they would never forget.